A PG-13 Die Hard movie. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Yeah, it's kind of like that in the movie. Live Free or Die Hard. So Live Free or Die Hard's the fourth Die Hard movie in the Die Hard franchise. It's been over a decade since we've seen John McClane. That's kind of the theme of this movie. John McClane's a bit older now. He's an analog cop in a digital age, and I like seeing that in this movie. Because Live Free or Die Hard's about cyber terrorism. Timothy Olyphant, who's awesome in most things. The same character in most things, but he's awesome in most things. He's going to burn the digital infrastructure of the American economy to the ground. Now it's up to John McClane to stop him, and Justin Long, weirdly. Which again feeds into the cool theme of this movie that I personally like. Right? John McClane gets a new partner. It's, well, again, not really a partner. He's just a dude who has to tag along with John McClane, like Samuel L. Jackson in Die Hard with a Vengeance. Only without the F-bombs, because hey, this is a PG-13 movie. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. I'll get into the whole PG-13 thing later. For right now, I'm just gonna stay on point here. Okay, so you have digital terrorism, in which case John McClane's like, I don't know anything about that. I'm a fish out of water. All I know is guns and fighting, because I'm a badass cop. But then you got Justin Long, who's like, hey, I know computers and hacking and all that digital shit, but I don't know anything about guns and being shot at, and now I'm a fish out of water with that situation. So you have two guys who are both fishes out of water, but they work together and they make a pretty solid team for a situation like this. And John McClane has all his John McClane isms for a PG-13 movie, that is. He and Justin Long work well together. Justin Long's funny because he's all sarcastic and quick-witted. You even have a couple hot chicks. This was the first movie I ever saw Maggie Q in, and I was like, I am in love. She can kick the shit out of me any way she wants, and it would be totally consensual. I'll be like, do that again, that's cool. And you have John McClane's daughter Lucy in this movie, played by Scott Pilgrim's girlfriend, always hot. And she's all awesome too, you know, she's all feisty and shit. You know she'd kick the shit out of these guys if she wasn't tied up, which isn't a completely unpleasant prospect, but, you know, I'm just saying. Of the damsel in distress type characters, she is one worth saving. In fact, she'd probably save herself if she wasn't tied up and couldn't, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever when you think about it. But moving on. And Timothy Olyphant was good in this movie. He's one of those really smart dudes. It's like, I got a plan and I'm tearing it all to the ground. He's one of those the pen is mightier than the sword type of guys. You know, in a fist fight between him and McClane, he'd lose terribly. McClane's like, pen can be mightier than the sword. That's fine. Is the pen mightier than a sledgehammer? Because that's what I am. And I'm gonna, you know, beat you to death if I get my hands on you. That's why John McClane's awesome. And it has cool action in it. You know, every Die Hard movie has that action where you're like, that's completely unbelievable. I don't buy that that could happen and people could survive it. This movie is no exception, but it does have sweet action. Like there's this one scene where McClane's in the back of a semi-truck and it's hanging over a ledge and he drops down and the camera follows him down and he grabs onto the door. It's all like one shot on a green screen, sure, but you know, all one shot. And it reminded me of something out of Uncharted. I was like, this is why I loved Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3. They had things like this that you played. Not only does John McClane look like Nathan Drake in about 20 years because he wears the same shit, but moments like this in Live Free or Die Hard felt like Uncharted, so I thought that was really cool. In terms of Live Free or Die Hard being an enjoyable action movie, it's certainly is an enjoyable action movie. But is it a Die Hard movie? This is where the whole rated R versus PG-13 thing comes in. The movie was released theatrically as a PG-13 movie. On the DVD, they made an unrated cut, but on the Blu-ray, that doesn't even exist yet. I haven't found it anyway. But there are scenes in the PG-13 cut where you're reading people's lips. Their mouths aren't lining up with what's being said, so you're like, oh, they're editing it to be PG-13. That's stupid. I hate that shit. Then you watch the unrated cut, which is ultimately the rated R cut, so they can say the F word and show more violence, and the blood splatters are digitally put in. When they're saying the F word, they're off camera. You don't actually see them cussing. And again, you read their lips and what you're hearing isn't matching up to what they're saying, which then makes you go, okay, was it filmed to be rated PG-13 or rated R? Both versions have the same problem, just in different spots. It was either filmed to be PG-13 or it was filmed to be something in the middle that could be either, depending on what the studio decided, which is really funny that they cut out the yippee-ki-yay motherfucker line. You're allowed to have at least one F-bomb in a PG-13 movie. You might as well keep the one that is the Die Hard staple. They decided to make it PG-13 because statistically speaking, PG-13 movies make more money. Live Free or Die Hard did certainly make its money back, so you can't argue that. But if Live Free or Die Hard was gonna be the last Die Hard movie, I could be like, all right, so you played your hand and you did one last move to get all the money you could out of the Die Hard franchise before it ended. But A Good Day to Die Hard is just right around the corner, which makes me say that making Live Free or Die Hard PG-13 was a dumb-ass thing to do. But making money is the most important thing of a business, right? Wrong! Keeping the credibility of your franchise, I would argue, is the most important thing. That in turn will keep the fans happy and they will give you their money. That's why I hate statistics. You know, statistically speaking, statistics are the greatest indicator as to what action is going to be taken. And that shit does work if you're counting cards in blackjack or dealing with pseudo-certainties like that. But when dealing with human beings, people, the greatest indicator as to what action they will take is nostalgia. Nostalgia and sentimentality trump statistics every time. Bear with me on this. You have a kid. The kid grew up all his life with this little black and white kitten that turned into a black and white cat, and then the cat dies one day of old age or whatever. He wants another animal. Now, the studio mindset would be, well, statistically speaking, kids like puppies more than cats, so let's have a box of puppies for them. When in reality, someone should be like, let's just bring one black and white cat to the store. He will buy that. Case in point, the most important thing is to give fans what they expect and desire. Die Hard fans love Die Hard movies that look and feel like Die Hard movies, which means John McClane is just riddled in blood, saying fuck this, fuck that, shooting the shit out of guys, violence and cursing and Die Hard-ismness. That's not a word, but it is now. But now that you've compromised the integrity of the Die Hard name by making Live Free or Die Hard PG-13, now people are looking at A Good Day to Die Hard as that uncertainty. They're like, I don't know. I guess I'll wait to see what people think, then I might go watch it. Bringing in new fans to your franchise is important, but you shouldn't replace the fans you have with new fans. I just don't get why they made it PG-13. The fact that the new Die Hard movie's rated R shows that they don't even know either. So Live Free or Die Hard is certainly a nerfed Die Hard movie, but as a movie for me and my personal experience with the movie, I found it enjoyable, I found it cool, it has really cool action scenes, it has a badass villain, John McClane has his John McClane isms in that PG-13 kind of way. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. I will say, I consider Live Free or Die Hard a good time, no alcohol required. Is that based on your statistics? No, it's based on my personal taste, which is what reviews are. Is it a Die Hard movie for Die Hard fans? No, it's not. But if you can look past that, you'll actually sit back and enjoy the movie. It's not bad. However, if you're a Die Hard fan who cannot get over the fact that they nerfed Die Hard movie down to PG-13, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. All right, so Live Free or Die Hard, what did you think about it? Did you enjoy it as a movie, but maybe not a Die Hard movie? Did you enjoy it as a Die Hard movie and an action movie? Did you hate it as either and both? Whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.